The NFL on EA Sports has come to the Twin Cities at U.S. Bank Stadium in downtown Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. So a very short kick here. This will be taken by one of the up men. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And, whoa, he's going to hope that that is not a sign of things to come. A rude welcoming to this ball game. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Cousins gives way to Cook. The tackle made by K.J. Wright.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 9.
They don't want to waste this outstanding field position on this opening drive as they come up on 3rd down. Cousins. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
You better be afraid of me. That's all right.
Now Wilson. And Dixon has it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where he, their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
First down.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Flushed out right. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. If the ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
This time Wilson will throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Eric Kendricks. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now. And then looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they got across the 50 last time, but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some...
Good strip, the ball's out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
On first down, it's Carson, and he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on second and goal here. Here's Wilson. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Kentrell Brothers leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. In their mind, certainly a field goal try would be a letdown. They had the great starting field position. Now facing third down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Completes it to Dixon. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Give him 13 yards on the connection, but not enough. Fourth down.
I think this one comes under the heading of sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, because you and I both know coaches go crazy seeing their quarterbacks roll out, in this case to the right side, and try and throw back into the middle of the field. He got away with one there.
And no hesitation about this decision here. Confidently, they're going to go for this. Fourth and goal from the 3. Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. They stop him on fourth and goal at the 3. And the Vikings, they come up big down near the goal line. They start the drive with Cook. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Now Cook running right. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with third and about 6 yards to go. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And this one complete to Smith. And he's going to have the first down as he's marked down just shy of the 20. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. First down, here's the run with Cook. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And it would appear he's going to be short of a first down as he stopped right around the 29. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one goes for 30 yards. Not really any offense for them to speak of here in this first half. Maybe that's what they needed, that big play.
Yeah, it seems that maybe everything changes right there. They've been a little slow out of the gate. We've seen that. But that one big play, that could spark a big burst right here.
Here's a first down throw that's complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Play fake. Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Cousins now. It's complete to Diggs. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get up.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook in the final seconds of the first half as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Bailey got the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the air.
Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Does that happen to you? Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they force the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big-time capitalization by taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. A first down throw for Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards, the final tally. Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10. And he's hit on his first 9 passes now in the ballgame. Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. They run it again with Cook. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 11 yards there, 1st down.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not done.
And he loses the football a 2nd time.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. They'll try to run with Madison. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that makes the score 14-7. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 44 yards, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. A quick throw taken in by Diggs. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, You often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
That second down play nets a -4.
Good route here.
On third down, Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And Ford nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And it'll be a turnover on downs.
Quick, 380. Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Let me what you got. 18. What you got, Heavy? Four left. Here we go. Go, guys. Four down. He's coming. One left. 40's Mike.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. All square, 14 apiece to score as we get ready for the fourth quarter. 3rd and long, it's Wilson. And Dixon over the middle. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 20-yard line. They'll run on first down. Carson, and he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Anthony Barr in on the tackle. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
And yet again, he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up on what could be a pivotal 3rd and goal now in a tie ball game. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick, the field goal.
And no movement for the field goal unit to break this tie. They're going to go for this thing. 4th and goal. Here we go.
Hey, 0-0-0. 36 power. Go, let's go.
They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. Rolling. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab as his guys have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now, on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Go. Take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Cousins to throw for it on 4th. It's brought in by Jackson. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They've become a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing. But I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. A 1st down run not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there, so that'll bring up 2nd and 9. Back to throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Now they do indeed get the timeout, so all is not lost. They'll have a chance for one final heave to the end zone. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. One last shot now for Cousins. He's got Smith here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. But, Charles, a 1-score game. Down to the end we went. They had one final play in that 1-score game. We all knew what was coming, the Hail Mary. They just couldn't get it done.
Wasn't exactly complicated, was it? We all knew it.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as we are in the inner harbor of Baltimore at M&T Bank Stadium. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Seattle Seahawks. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. On first down, Wilson. Flush to his right. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there will be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
To throw again on second down, Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards. That catch certainly easier than the one Tyler Lockett made in the back left corner of the end zone in the Thursday night win over the Rams in Week 5. My goodness, that was incredible. In fact, the advanced metrics called it the most impressive. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Chris Carson. 57 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. You talk about explosion plays. There's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate. Big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Let's go.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. It's a give to the right, Ingram. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Unable to stop KJ right there as he slips by for the sack. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go.
There's a hush indeed. Flushed out right. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Here we go again. Here we go again. 57 to Mike. Mike 57. Four down.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He'll find Ballore out of the backfield. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
I think the good offensive coordinators in the league now are looking at the fullback position and finding the right guys to hide in that spot and increase their passing game, as we just saw there. How about the run after catch? Racked him.
Well, yeah, whether it's a true fullback, a tight end, you put in the fullback spot, you know they're going to be tough to bring down if you can get them the football in the passing game. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On 2nd and 9, Wilson looking for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey after 1-7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they'll start with a 1st and 10 at their own 20. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. There goes Mark Ingram, the 30, past the 20, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram, an 80-yard touchdown, as they are now on the board here in the first half. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Here we go. Take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive, followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
At the 27-yard line.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Hey, 0.
Now Wilson. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
On 2nd down, Ingram. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. Escaping the pressure right. And this is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Tackle coming from the safety, Trey Flowers.
It's 3rd and 10.
So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs. From the gun, it's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. 4th down now after a loss of 2. So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker, Justin Tucker, out onto the field. This a 43-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Now a throw here to his running back. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Chris Carson. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. Now Myers for the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. Well, they were a little too excited to get the football, touched it before it went 10 yards.
And that's so difficult, isn't it? Because sometimes you can just take a bad hop and veer into your lane or into your body. In this case, though, they touched it before 10. Illegal touching is the call.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. From the 44, Jackson buying time to his left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt that in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. Jackson now. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Well, Charles, 18 of the 32 teams have now played 8 games, half their season. The other 14 will reach the midway point next week, so we'll save the midseason grades and awards until then. But
Thank you. I like that.
We'll wait on that. But let's look at a few underperforming teams thus far that have played 8 games, and you tell me what you think their final record's going to be. Now, let's start with the Chargers at 3-5.
Big win in Chicago on Sunday. I like them to go 5-3 down the stretch, and that gives them 8 wins. Actually, having them go 6-2. I think they're going to go 9-7.
Ooh, right there on the edge of the playoffs. Okay, let's stay in the AFC West. How about the Broncos at 2-6 right now?
I just don't see that offense improving. I think that they win 2 more games and go 4-12.
Okay. And Giants, 2-6. They're underperforming.
Yeah, but their schedule really lightens up on the back end. They're playing hard. I'm going to give them 6 wins, 6-10.
Lastly, and I might duck under the table when you answer this one, the Falcons at 1-7.
Yeah, that's a tough one because I wonder about what's going to happen with their head coach. But I think they'll play better down the stretch. 4 wins, 4-12.
You're off the hot seat, my friend.
Thank you.
He'll take a shot for the end zone and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
It's our time. He's crashing. He's checking crash.
Here's Wilson throwing again. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. Oh, I think the Seahawks got it. They did. It's Seattle football. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. David Moore, the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They run it with Carson. And he's going to be down close to a 1st down at the Ravens' 25.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you've got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage. And that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
It's caught. Lockett. And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Now Wilson forced out to his left. He's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. From 13 yards out. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice two-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
To throw is Jackson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Partner, earlier I asked you about some teams that were underperforming so far. Well, right now let's play a game arrow up, arrow down. I'll give you teams that are kind of in the middle of the pack. You tell me if they're going to go up or down second half of the season. Let's start with the Raiders at 3-4.
Arrow up. I think they're going to beat the teams they're supposed to beat, and they will beat someone good down the stretch.
Okay, now Jacksonville, they're 500 right now, 4-4.
Yeah, but their division is conducive to their arrow going up. Gardner Minshew playing well. Maybe Nick Foles comes back, and I like that defense.
Okay, the Lions got a win last week to get to 3-1. How about them?
Don't like their division. Minnesota, Green Bay within division. Unfortunately, arrow down.
Lastly, how about the Panthers, 4-3?
Defense is supposed to travel. That was a tough one in San Francisco last Sunday. Still think that'll happen, and I do believe Cam Newton will come back this season. Arrow up.
They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. And this is caught at the end. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A gain of 32 that time. Now it's Jackson fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Back now in Baltimore. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the fourth and final quarter. Throwing again on second down. Wilson flush to his right. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 14. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
Gotta go, in and out, go.
Third and 2, now Wilson. He's got Lockett. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Here's Wilson. They'll lock him with a grab over the middle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.